So, thanks for coming on, Joy, and talking to us about you, because we do a lot with you investigation wise, and you come on a lot of our lives and give us loads of insight, but we rarely just get to talk to you about you. So, I think we've got lots of questions.
Well,
So, do you want to start off and just, as you say, everybody probably knows you, but just tell everybody who you are and a bit about yourself?
are you kidding me? Let's see. I have lived a very colorful life. My name is Joy. My actual birth name is Jorina, but my nickname is Joy. Um, my dad called me Lucifer. My mom called me Joy. Joy kind of stuck with most of my close friends. So um, I do all things paranormal. I've done, I don't know even what to say. Um, You think I'm a bad interviewer, right? I was a journalist for a while. You'd think I'd be good at interviewing. Um, I've just done so much in my life. I was a professional singer for decades. I've published books. I've published poetry. I've written songs. I'm an award-winning journalist. I'm an artist, a fiber artist and a painter. I mean, there's a lot to me, but what most people know me for on this app is so, and I'm 60. I just turned 60. I love you,
Yay!
Jonathan.
Fabulous.
There's just a lot of layers
And you
to
forgot
me.
one
There's a lot
important
of
thing.
things people don't know about me other than the fact that I do this and I don't make a spectacle of it like on my page. So they're like, but you just post funny memes. And then they see me in live doing something. They're like, oh, okay. And it's been a little weird without postmortem, like being on my own like that. Like as a family unit, it was way, for me, it was way better than being individual because I do this all day, every day by myself. So I preferred with my family. You guys are so sweet.
You're
And we
sweet
do
too.
everything. We investigate. I work cold cases, murder cases, missing person cases, do mediumship, connecting people with their loved ones. I also do mentoring. Just remote viewing, astral projection, just kind of everything. So when you say, tell them a little bit about me, there's a lot.
Well, so we could talk for hours really about everything really. But you missed one very important thing. You are a fabulous mum with amazing children as well. Um, your whole
Yes.
family's all so lovely. And we do miss PMP as a whole, definitely. But when would you say the first time you realised you had an ability was? What was the thing that made you think something's different here?
Well, when you're like born that way, it's your normal. You don't know that you're different. You don't know that not everybody is seeing what you're seeing or hearing what you're hearing or experiencing or feeling it or smelling it or tasting it and all that stuff. So my parents, they told me stories about how I did not like cooked carrots at all. And as a toddler, they would try to force me to eat these cooked carrots, but I would make them fly off my high chair. And that's when they first started getting concerned because if I didn't want to eat something, I would make it fly away. And now I know that to be telekinesis or telekinesis or psychokinesis. Um, and I also knew everything that, they got me for Christmas. I knew what was inside the boxes. I knew who was coming over. They got really freaked out by that. And so they started taking me to all these churches and having me baptized and stuff. But then when I was 4, I had a death experience, not a near death experience. There's a difference because I've had 2 subsequent near death experiences that were very different than what happened when I was 4. I was purposefully tried to be attempted unalived by a family member and thrown into a very deep pool, 12 feet of water, and left there. And they found me approximately, they estimate it was about 20 minutes because that's how long my mother had been gone. And 2 men came and and brought me back out. And that's a whole nother thing. But after that, my life significantly changed. At that point, I came back very differently, and I knew that I was different. Um, and I was taught that it was bad by my parents. They kept, like I said, they just continued to go to church after church after church and have me baptized and try to get it out of me, and it just wouldn't leave. So I would say around age 9 is when I started to realize, at school and stuff, I was different. I was getting in trouble at school because I would already have done the homework for the day after. And the teacher was thinking I was cheating. Um, but it's just because I knew that's what I was supposed to do. And then when I was 12, I really got into it. I started going to the library, checking out books, starting to research everything from Aleister Crowley to, quantum physics. And that has been a lifelong journey since I was about 12, or between 12 and 14 is when I really started to say, I got to figure out what the hell is going on here. I saw the fire starter and I was like, oh my God, that's me. So I need to figure out what's going on here. And I had seen
Yeah.
some real crazy stuff, and it's like medical field wants to diagnose some of us with like mental illnesses and stuff, and I wasn't. And so, yeah, it led me down this whole trail to where I am now. And I'm still searching for some answers. Thank you
Yeah.
guys.
Wow. Emma, do you want to ask Joy anything?
Yeah, so you say like you help with missing persons cases.
Yes.
What's the process with that? Like, do you have an item of theirs, or you just go out and just sense
No.
them?
I do what's called direct connect. Some people need an intermediary thing in order to be able. I mean, yeah, if I was on the land where they are, of course, it's going to be quicker and easier because otherwise I have to do what's called remote viewing and all of this stuff. But the one thing I can say is it's much easier to locate a missing, an alive person than it is a missing person. Because if they're unalive, they're going to appear straight to me. I'm going to see them. I'm going to be able to ask questions and be able to go to the location where they're at. If they're alive, they're always moving. And so I'm happy. I was in law enforcement with the U.S. Army for a while as well, for like 13 years in law enforcement. So there is a investigative side that was already built into me by virtue of my career that plays into what I'm doing. So it's both gifts and also logic, because I'm a very logic and science-based person. So what that would entail if somebody calls me, I mean, I don't want a lot of information, but what I would do is get a little bit about the location, the state, just the state, a name, something like that, and then start the process from there. I would do a consultation with them, but I don't want to know any of the details, because if I get it and they've told me, then it can't be verified or validated. And what I'm looking for is something that no one else knows. So if they knew this certain thing happened, I'm looking for something else that the police would have. And I get contacted by police organizations, family members, friends, all across the board. Something that they know that's in their investigation that they have not released to the public.
So how many cases would you say you work on in a year?
I can't even begin to I couldn't even begin to add up all the cases that I've done throughout my career. I mean, it's constantly people are calling me constantly, and I can't do everything, and it breaks my heart. I wish I could do all of them, but I can't physically do them all. And the thing is it's a process. So when someone calls me about someone, an aliving, let's say, and they haven't found the body, there are times where they're not going to. And I know that because it's been disposed of in a way that there will be no trace. So it's very hard to tell. There's just all these moving parts to it. It's just hard for me to take them all, but I want to help everybody. But they'll linger and they stay. As long as I'm working on the case, they stay with me, giving me the information, and then I'm giving that information to the source.
It's fascinating. I mean,
It creeps me
helping out
out.
in that way.
I creep myself out. I'm not lying. You asked me
Right, it
twice.
was
I'm
me
like,
as well.
I creep myself out. Sometimes I get done with something, or just even at the end of a conversation, and I'll be like, I am so fucking weird. Like, what's wrong with me? How did I know
Weird seems
that?
cool though. Weird's the
Um,
cool now, so we found.
it's rewarding. Um, it's a rewarding thing to do, to be able to help people solve things, and especially like with clients, to help them get over grief and to help them move forward and learn new ways to assimilate the loss of a loved one. But honestly, it is there are things that I have seen in my life that I cannot unsee. And that's a side of mediumship that a lot of people don't think about, especially with someone like me. There are things that I have seen happen. There are things that I have witnessed, and the way people look and things like that. Actually, I experienced the way they passed. So whatever way they were unalived, I have to go through that process. And those things, I don't want to use no pun, but they haunt me. There are certain cases specifically, that, especially ones involving children, that I can't get out of my head. And I just have to live with that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can't tell us too much about the cases because I'm sure they're confidential.
There are a lot of
Um,
non-disclosure agreements, but there are some, there's some big ones that, I've been a part of. I don't like we said earlier, I'm not good at brag. I don't like to feel like I'm bragging about what I did, because so many people do that, and but there's some national cases that I've worked on and stuff.
what's been the hardest case that you've worked on for you, like mentally, and what's one that's drained you the most?
Honestly, lately, Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy has not been out of my house since, how long has he been here? 6 months. 6 months. Ask Corey. People think it's crazy, but I did lives on this, and he literally came through in my lives, and people actually heard him, and that blew my mind.
Yeah,
I mean, he gave information that there's no way, that one live I did, there was no way in hell that that blew my mind. When I can get it externally, it always blows my mind.
that's not somebody you want staying in your house, is it?
Absolutely not.
Well, the thing is he's very much like the energy that I'm getting. Like, people don't understand, when you're communicating with people who have crossed over, you're not communicating with them as they are now. You're pulling them back into a time. You're pulling them back into the time at which this was done, and this was actually done in 1969. Like less than 2 miles from my house. They were his first two victims, and I know things about that I knew things about that entire case that I shouldn't have already known. So he showed up, and he can be very charming. He can be very, especially if we're watching shows about him or we're talking about him. We try not to say his name, because when we do, he will show up. Um, but then there's this side of him that he gets very dark, and his eyes turn black, and it's very negative energy. Yeah, he
Yeah,
likes
I
to
can
get.
imagine.
People think
Wow.
I'm absolutely bonkers, I'm sure, but there have been hundreds of people that have witnessed since I've been working this case. Even Corey, since he moved back home, Corey tries to have a life, and Ted keeps trying to come into his life. It's crazy. It's literally bonkers.
Sounds it. Emma,
And I
you
mean,
look like
like
you have
I
a
said,
question.
I studied serial killers for, I shouldn't say that. I studied SKs for probably a good 14 years. And so those are my favorite cases to work, but they're also the most damaging to me. Like the Long Island serial killer, Rex Heuermann. That's been a long going investigation with him and all of the victims going up and down the Gilgo Beach. So that's another one.
Go on, Emma, you look like you have a burning question.
No, I was just, it just amazes me. Like, it's just, so profound and like is so famous, and it's just like happens just to like chilling.
I'm so not famous. I don't aspire to be famous. I keep a very low profile. I don't have a website. I don't have anything really, because the fact of the matter is I didn't do this for entertainment. This is for me, it's super serious. It's so serious. You're dealing with people's emotions, you're dealing with people's livelihoods, you're dealing with people's, like, the way they view how their person passed, grief. And we have I think we have an ethical responsibility to conduct ourselves in a way that's professional and doesn't make us look like we're entertainers. You know,
Can you tell people who are like real/fake?
100%.
Yeah.
And also, everyone's gifted, right? But the thing is there are varying degrees based on your growth pattern in this life and your exposure and your open-mindedness and your willingness to learn and educate yourself and learn to connect. So I can tell what level someone's at. And this app has been a trip since I got on here, seeing the crap that goes on here and chats and things like that. There's like so little ethics. It makes me insane. It literally makes me insane. Every time I see a medium, I pretty much block them all. I just block, 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 block. Block, block. But I mean, this is another side to it, guys. Like, people don't understand this is a very dangerous work. When I'm working a case of a, unalived person or a missing person, I worked one here, and the person, it turned out to be a mafia thing. And this person's in Philly, and if they see me, it started to get dark. So I had to cut that case off, not doing anything publicly, because that person, I've had to live in gated communities before. If they find out that I'm working it and that I know it and I'm putting it out there, then they can come find me and harm me or my family member. This is what, like, real mediums
you do all this because
that's what real mediums that really do this, that they don't, people don't know that side of real people who do it.
Yeah. But you're a really caring person, and I think that's a big part of why you do it, isn't it? Because you like to help other people.
Well, yes, but I believe that I was given these gifts to do good. Like, they weren't just given to me to fuck around with, and to entertain with, and to be, a show pony. But also the third NDE, the third time I died, was an NDE at a 10% chance of living. At that point, I was older and I had choices, right? So when it happened, I said, if you let me go back, I will quit my good government cushy job making, 3 figures, to use every gift you ever gave me to do good in this world. And that was when I was 35 years old. And when I was spared and I got to come back, I had the first words to Ian, my husband, Ian, when I opened my eyes, was, I have to quit my job. And he said, you do whatever you have to do. And like, not even, I think it was 3 weeks later, I walked in and resigned from my career in law enforcement. And ever since that day, I've been keeping the promise that I made. So as much as I like helping people, I also made a promise. And I need to keep my word. Or else, maybe next time I don't get a reprieve.
Ian's fantastic, though, isn't he? He's a great guy.
He is
So
a huge
supportive of you.
supporter, and a lot of people don't know. We jokingly call him the English investigator, but he actually helps me on a lot of cases. So what he will do is he will do a dossier. Like, in between, I train, constantly training. It's not like I know everything, right? I have to keep my skill sets up. So if there's a period where I'm not working a big case and I solved it really quick, he'll do a dossier on an unsolved case and put it in a manila envelope, and he does all the investigating part of it. And then I don't know where the hell I'm going. He puts me in the car and he takes me to a random location, God knows where it's at. And then I have to pick up what's gone on there, names, dates, places, how it was, And then he will open the envelope then and expose that I got everything right. Sometimes I get extra stuff on top of that. So there's still training that goes on in the interim period.
Fascinating.
Yeah. And like when I do my mentoring, that is something that I work with my super gifted students on. We use that same process. And a lot of the when they get up a little bit higher, we use that same process where I will know something about something, and then I just send them a picture to see, if they have psychometry, which is the ability to read energy from a picture, or an object, and then we will do like training and see if how far they've come and how much they can get correct. There's this whole process.
It's so fascinating. I mean, is there a time where you've ever got it wrong? Like
I hear this
something's
on
got
this
in the
app
way and
all the time. I hear this on this app all the effing time. Nobody's ever right all the time. Nobody's right all the time. Nobody has all the answers. But me. The thing is even in a live, like you got to think about it, in a live, investigators are doing their investigating, right? So I'm seeing all kinds of stuff. I just kind of hone in on the loudest, most strongest presence, and I try to stay focused. That's where investigators go wrong. They're like swirling all over the place with all these different, things they're getting through apps or whatever. But I'm staying hyper focused on this thing. Well, I may be talking to this one, but there's like 6 or 7 other ones. And so just because it doesn't come through an app or it doesn't do an EVP or something like that doesn't mean that it wasn't there. It just means that it got bypassed because something else bigger was happening at that time. So I don't ever go into something. I know that what I see, so I don't need someone to validate what it is. And sometimes I'll say something and it won't resonate right then. But then I get a call 2 days later going, oh my God, and I'm like, it happens every single time. Like I'll be like, well, do you have something going on with pinto beans? Like some random thing. And they'll be like, oh no, I don't eat beans. And they'll call me and go, oh my gosh, my grandpa used to make this pinto bean breakfast burrito. I'm like, okay, see, that's what it is. The pinto bean burrito. So no, rarely, but I also am very thorough and I question a lot. One thing, well, I don't quite, let me put it this way. I do what's called clear channeling. So it comes through my head and it's out my mouth. My ego does not get involved. So if I hear pink ponies, I will say pink ponies, but I'm not even thinking about, that doesn't make any sense. My ego does not get involved in what I'm saying. So it's just coming. And I always say it's not coming from me. It's coming from someplace else. I don't claim it. It's just coming from someplace else. It's the best way I can explain it.
Is this something you can learn, or do you have to be born with it? Or is it a bit of both?
Well, now there's a big debate because there's people out there that are writing books called How to Be a Medium. How to make yourself a medium, because you have to be, in my opinion, you need to be born with it. The ability to communicate. See, people get psychics and mediums confused. It drives me batshit crazy. Everybody is born gifted, like I said earlier, but there's different echelons. So everybody has gut instinct. Most people, unless you're a psychopath or a sociopath, you're going to have, that gut intuition, whether you use it for the betterment or the detriment. You might have a little bit of premonition. You might have a little bit of that. You might hear things, but not see things. You might see things, but not hear things, right? A medium can communicate directly. So people book these sessions with a medium and they'll go, oh, there's a male here and he smells like smoke and, all of this stuff. Well, they should know immediately that's who that is. Be able to get their name, get something very specific about that person, not this generalized bullshit. That may be a little bit of psychic ability, but not mediumship. Mediumship, they look just like you. Like I'm looking at you right now, unless they're like missing parts and stuff. Um, and I learned in my 20s that I could ask them not to show me themselves in their death state, to show me themselves as they were or at their best, and then show me what happened to the side. So sometimes I'll see like them like I'm seeing you, but over here like a hologram or like an old movie, I will see what has happened to them. Right? So I don't even know where I was going with that.
So what you say it drives you batshit crazy? People getting a psychic and a medium like mixed up. Yeah. What's the difference to? Because a lot of people are probably going, I don't know what the difference is.
Well, like I just said, like everybody is born gifted. So you can learn to open yourself up to being able to express or hone your skills as a psychic, right? But a medium, I believe you have to be born a medium. If you have not been able to talk to them and know who the hell they are from the get-go, then I don't think you can train someone to talk to deceased people as a medium, like directly.
Yeah. No, I totally.
So the psychic, let me put it this way: a psychic might hear, maybe not. Like I said, maybe they see, maybe they smell, maybe they taste. They pick up energy. Everybody's an empath, and they go, "I'm an empath. I'm an empath." Wah, wah, wah. Everybody feels things. Everybody, like if somebody's sad, you feel sad. If they're happy, you feel happy. So that I don't pay attention to the empath thing, right? Because everybody has the capacity to feel, unless you have a mental disorder. But like with the psychic, we as mediums get the same thing. We get symbols. Like they might hand you a rose, or you have to learn your symbols. Like, an elephant may not be a elephant and may be a symbol of time. So psychics, they have to learn to they can't communicate directly with spirit. That's the difference. They cannot talk to them like I'm talking to you right now. They can.
But they can feel them or see them or know they're there, but they can't physically communicate.
They may get this, and I don't use the big words, but claircognizance is the ability. Like sometimes you'll see it here in your head. A lot of times I see it. I mean, I just know it. Like I knew to do my homework right here. You can have that, but if you can't communicate, like if I see John and I can't say, John, what the F are you doing? You're walking around, you're getting ready to go grab Laura's leg. What's your name? Well, my name's Simon. Telling me what they did and stuff. And then I'm relaying that to you. Right? But then you have to get it. For me, it doesn't mean anything unless you can validate it through equipment on TikTok. Right? So
which happens.
I think that I personally think you cannot just go to the school of Hogwarts and get your mediumship degree. And I got corrected by a 14-year-old medium not that long ago on this app. And that was hard to keep my composure.
I love how you just say it how it is. You always do. So somebody in the chat said that they were actually cooking pinto beans as you were talking about it. So
see, nothing is random.
What made you say pinto beans?
Nothing in my kids, Corey can validate this. Nothing in my life is random. Nothing in my life is random, ever. It always, what did I just say? It always means something. I just pulled pinto beans, just was the first thing that came into my head, and it probably came from the person in the chat. That's the way it works.
What is a pinto bean? What is it? What's a pinto bean?
I don't know what it would be called over there. It's a brown bean.
I'm gonna Google it because I don't know what it is.
A bean. Brown. A butter bean. A broad bean.
Like if you eat Mexican food, the beans that you get with Mexican food, not black, but the other ones, those are pinto.
It'll be a kidney bean because it looks like a
No,
kidney.
it's not a
They
kidney
call it.
bean.
Ah.
It's
I'm
very
just
different.
Googling
I
it.
mean, I have a bag if you want me to go get a bag. I can show you the bag of pinto beans.
They are
Guess
called
the
pinto
object.
beans over here. They are called pinto beans over here. I've just never seen them.
Yeah, refried beans are made from pinto beans.
All right. Okay. Wow.
Right, I've got a question, Joy. But I've got a
Yeah,
couple.
please, you guys, please
I'm
tell me if
struggling to
I'm
remember
talking
them.
too much too. Please tell me to shut the F up if I'm
No,
talking too
you're
much.
not. I
This is
actually,
your life.
Yeah. This is about you.
I actually adore seeing your face.
You know.
I adore seeing your face.
My allergies are
Genuinely, I
so
do.
bad. It looks like I'm
Um,
crying, but I'm not crying. I'm just melting.
You know, you look gorgeous.
Ugh.
So I have a couple of questions. Let me try and think what they are now. So you might not be able to answer them, Joy, to be quite honest, but because obviously you see people that have passed, what's your thoughts or what do you know about? It's really difficult. Afterlife, yeah, because I personally don't believe there's a heaven. I'm an atheist. I don't, for me, that's just my belief system. But I struggle to then think
There's
we're
gonna
here and
come
then
a
we just
day.
go. And I do believe I see
There's gonna
people.
come a day where I finally get the cojones up to. I've been trying to wait till I get to 5,000 followers before I tell this story because I want to be able to. I've never told the whole thing in public. And people will be like, "Oh, have you written a book? Why haven't you written a book?" I'm like, "Because I've been too busy fucking working. I don't have time to write a book. I want to do this live where I actually tell what happened when I was unalived and and this I believe is a true experience because I was unaffected and unindoctrinated, right? I was only 4. So I feel like that was the purest experience that anyone could possibly have because the 2 subsequent NDEs were very different because by then I knew more. I'd experienced more. I had children. I knew there was evil. I'd been baptized 57,000 times in 12 different religions trying to get this shit out of me. So that one at 4 years old, I believe, was the purest. And it was the longest because it was 20 minutes long. Like, that is not a near anything. I fully, was there. And I learned a lot. And the reason why I need to get to 5,000 is because half my followers are probably going to unfollow me. When I tell them what I experienced, because religion is it's important for everyone to have faith in something, as long as it does no harm. But religion is the biggest brick in the wall in our culture, to keeping us from understanding what we're about. People get so locked into heaven and hell and all of these concepts that do not exist. They do not exist when your soul, which is energy, and I'm very science based, when it leaves your body, it is not what they make it out to be. I don't even like all the terms we use. I don't like ghosts.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Energy.
Yeah.
I need to ask you a question now based on this. So, I had a motorbike accident, like 15, 20 years ago, something like that. And when I was on the floor on the motorway, or as you'd call it, freeway, I think, I had people around me, and apparently I was unalived for a little while. I don't know exactly how long, but I could hear like muffled voices, and everything was pure white, like there was just a white sheet in front of my face. Was that me nearly going somewhere else?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because it was literally like it was all muffled, and then it was like somebody clicked.
My hands will start like Look at my hands. See how they're turning purple?
Yeah.
They'll turn black when I'm getting information. And like my neck and my back was hurting so bad that I just moved my head. Yeah. You know, it's not what they say it is, though. I do believe, though, as you get older, I don't know this for a fact, you will experience what you believe. So if you believe in angels that might come as angels, you might see angels. If you believe in hell, you may see fire and brimstone, or if you believe in purgatory, you might find that, people talk about waiting rooms and spirit guides and all of this stuff. So as you get older, I think your belief system plays a lot into your experience.
Right, yeah.
Well, no, I know it does.
It was literally like somebody clicked the fingers and I was back in the room and I knew exactly where I was and what had happened. But
Right.
for before that, it was just muffled voices and everything was just white, like bright white, really bright. It was the weirdest feeling.
One thing I will say is when I drowned and I was they found me laying on my back at the bottom of the pool. I remember when I gave up and quit fighting. I remember when I quit struggling to get back to the top. And I remember floating, feeling weightless, but then the weirdest thing happened. It was like a cool breeze just went over my face, like a cool spring breeze, and I could breathe.
It must have been a
And
horrific
there was this white light that was far away, and it just started coming and getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that it was not, I'm sorry if this offends anybody. I don't care. It wasn't God.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, there you go. What were your other questions?
I'm going to be interested to hear when you get to 5,000 followers.
I know, yeah.
I'll be
we will be on that
Yeah.
live.
I'll have 80 left. Y'all will be one of the 80 that are left. And I don't like other people on this app either. One of the other things is I don't want to be affected by what I hear about other people's stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think people that go and listen to NDE stories all over, one after the other, they're indoctrinating their brain. And then if they've had an experience, they'll start adopting some of those things into their own experience, So I've seen that happen as well.
Yeah.
And once I tell it, mark my word, within a week, you'll see 1,000 videos where people are saying the same exact thing.
Yeah.
And they've never seen it before.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Do you obviously with your gift as such do you get people, your family members or friends, appear and come to you and does that give you
me alone? They never leave me alone.
Don't they?
They never leave me alone. But here's the thing, with my experience, with my own family, they don't come to me like I said, our mind creates so much of our reality. So if I'm focused on their human form like they were when they were here, then that's what I'm going to expect to see. But that's not really what they are anymore. They're kind of everywhere all at once. They don't get locked into a location. They can be here and also be with my sister. We're not locked. Energy is not, confined anymore. So I see them, but I don't see them like I see you.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know they're here. They're always mucking about. They're always making stuff happen. They're always putting random songs on in random places or doing just things to let me know there's and there's no way it could not be them because it's so fucking random.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so obviously your loved ones that are living now, like us that can't see energy, obviously are fearful of people passing and grief and things. Do you see it differently because you know that they may well be able to do what your other family members do and because you'll see them again kind of thing?
Well, I mean, the one thing is that I'm still human at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And we're all spirits, we're all spirits having a human experience here. So I still have human emotions. When I'm working, that kind of goes off. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in lives where you've been able to, I go almost robotic. It's like when I do Estes, it's very robotic because it's coming through me, right? But as far as like losing a loved one in the flesh is always hard. So I still grieve the loss of the physical form.
Yeah, physical, yeah.
I grieve the smell of actually putting my nose to my mom's head, or my brother hugging me, or me and my best friend going out and making music. I do miss the physical form, but that is a memory of an experience I had in my life, but they're not in that form anymore. So I acknowledge them as they are now. And then the grief is not, it's not something that I wallow in.
Yeah.
It's not something that I live in, the grief of the loss of the physical.
Yeah.
But like Mother's Day, I always cry.
Yeah.
And I tell her, she's like right next to me on the beach, and I'm like, I really wish I could just touch you one more time. It's been 25 years now.
Yeah.
I wish I could see you like here. I wish you could have stayed, but at least I have you like this, you know, and all of us do.
Yeah.
And that's what I like my clients. I teach them how to learn how to communicate and learn how to use whatever gift sets they may have, or to learn how to like with my clients, it's not just about a reading with them. The last 15 or 20 minutes I spend helping them learn how to acknowledge and see the signs that they're being given by their loved one to let them know that they're still there. Like I teach them about their own way to be able to communicate with their loved ones, so they don't need to call me back. You know, that's my goal, is I never have to talk to them again. I don't keep them on infinite repeat on a Rolodex with a monthly subscription. My goal is to help them learn how to access their own gifts so they don't need somebody like me.
Yeah.
Very quickly, if there's anybody on, make sure you give Joy a follow as well, because we need to get her to her 5K followers to find out the story.
I'm so sorry, guys, that the chat that I have not even acknowledged and I have not said hello to or anything, but I'm so used to focusing on the creator that I've totally missed everything in the chat.
So have I. I've been too busy listening.
I know, that's it. Yeah, we do try and keep up with the chat, so I am sorry if we've missed quite a bit of it.
Yeah.
So Emma, have you got another question? I have something otherwise, if not. But
I think we could be here for hours. To be honest. Well, I'll let pass it to you. No, because I don't know how to say it.
Well, just say it.
No, you say yours.
You know, she's Yorkshire. You're used. You're used to
Christopher, why didn't Christopher jump in a box?
Yeah,
He joined late, I think it was.
It's about you anyway. Nobody else tonight.
Well, hello everyone that's in the chat, all 17 of you, and thank you to whoever put coins in my box.
Yeah, well,
we stayed away from.
We won't talk about boxes right now.
Right, has Emma got one?
Go on.
Well, let Lara go first.
No, I'll do mine. It's fine. Go on.
I love working with you guys. You know, that's another thing. Like on this app, is I work with a lot of content creators, but I'm very picky. I only work with content creators that I know are gifted.
Oh, thank you.
Because it's easier to work through a gifted content creator, right? Like if you're open, and that makes it easier for me to come through and be able to get information. If you're real, it's easier for me to come through. And the minute I saw you guys live, I knew immediately that that there are many gifts that are running through your group. And it would be very easy for me to be able to remote and come through and be able to pick stuff up through you.
Mm-hmm.
So
I never thought about it like that, to be fair.
Me neither.
Yeah, I mean, I go into a live, sometimes I'll go and look for teams that could use some support. And I always ask first, just like I asked you guys in the very beginning. That's an ethical thing. And I'll just sit there for a second. I'll be like, nah, no, this ain't gonna work. This would never work. But then every now and then I'll come through and it's like, this is a very gifted individual, or this is a gifted team. This is a team with a gifted individual. That would make it easier for me. Because when they're not like that, it's like pushing through a brick wall.
Yeah.
To get information. I can get information in anybody's live, but I don't like to push through somebody to get it. if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like that's.
I think it's just we're really quite open and just our genuine selves, aren't we? Really?
Yeah, what you
Do you know
see
what I
is
mean?
what you get with us. We're just, that is us. We're goofy, we're a bit geeky, we're a bit weird, but that's who we
We're the
are.
same way. This is why we get along. This is why we get along. I'm so goofy. Like, people don't realize I'm more of a goof. But when I'm working, if it's something serious, like I said, it's just like stone cold when it's happening. Otherwise, I'm just a total effing goofball.
Good.
Tara and Tripp can, vouch for that.
So, Emma, did you have a question, did you say? Or I'm not sure.
It's gone out of my head, so I'll let you go first and see if it comes
Go on,
back.
Cal, what was yours that you didn't know how to say? Just say it.
Wait a minute, I'm trying to think of it. You say
say
yours
it.
because I can't remember it. Can't remember it.
Sal, let me tell you this: what you said about your belief system and what you think, you're very much on point there. Just so you know,
Oh, really?
there's no heaven, there's no hell. That doesn't exist.
Well, I'm very pleased to hear that because I just don't, I just can't believe that we're here and in the physical form and then we pass and that is just it.
But we obviously go somewhere because...
Yeah, all the energy does. What I believe personally, what gives me my comfort, I suppose, is my dad, my loved ones, my dogs. I will hopefully see again in one way or another, but I don't understand how I'll see them. But the comfort it gives me to say I'll see you later.
Let me
for
put
me, that's
it
what I believe.
this way: if we didn't have faces, you meet energy first. When you meet someone, even with a body, you kind of know, like, or yeah, right. Yeah. So a universal consciousness. We are all part of a universal consciousness. Mm-hmm. And we know each other when our energy leaves this body. We know who we're connected to, but here's the thing: we're connected to each other, all of us. Right. There's no segregation. There's no, Jews over here, Christians over there, blacks over here, whites over here, old people here, young people there. There's none of this stuff that it's very more science-y than it is religious.
The thing is I like the science bit because I work quite a lot in not your sciencey area, but that's what I like to learn and do, and that gives me, like, I don't know what the word is, but not proof, but I don't know. But anyway, I know what you mean. Validation and all that lot. My last question, it's come back to me, is that there's no heaven, no hell. I don't believe that or whatever. Is everyone able to come through to you, or do people choose to not present themselves, or they've rested as such? Do you know what I mean? Or is it certain energies?
Let me put it to you this way, and this is a pretty simple one to answer, actually, because I am one of them. I was one of them, and I walked with them, and I walk with them. Yeah. There's no distinguishment between them and me in that world.
Yeah.
I walk with them everywhere I go, 24/7, 365. I got one foot there and one foot here at all times.
Exhausting.
So it's not exhausting. I'm so used to it. It's just my life. But they are not, when we're communicating. So like I said earlier, when we're communicating during an investigation, we're pulling people back into a specific time. We're asking them questions about how they passed, who their dad was, what they did. We're bringing them back, like their residual, what they would say is residual, what happened, the imprint that they left. Yeah. I prefer to call it that versus residual. Yeah. Because they say, residuals are not intelligent, and then there's intelligent. No, residuals are intelligent too. They just don't want to fucking talk to you. You're asking them a question, so they're showing you, or they're repeating what it was that they were doing because you ask a stinking question. Yeah, yeah. They do know what your equipment is. They're not fucking dumb. Yeah. I mean, they've been around to watch the inventions of all of this shit that's going on in this world. And you think if they didn't, they're still dialing a rotary phone and don't know what a fucking cell phone is. For real?
See, I wouldn't honestly, now you've said that, it makes complete sense. So You know what I mean? Because you would think, oh, you've not seen a REM pod before.
Like, oh, you're from 1620, so you didn't even know what a car was.
Yeah. I know what you mean, yeah.
If you're here communicating with me, that means you've been here. You've probably seen a car or two.
Yeah.
Like, why are you just appear? I came from the 1600s to just this moment, just this one time. No, it doesn't work like that.
That makes sense though now, isn't it? I wouldn't have thought
That's what people get pissed at me because I talk logic. It's like, this is logic, folks. This is comment. This is like really thinking about it a little bit more than just,
Yeah. But that's true though, and it's interesting. And your brain, or my brain, jumps to what we believed in before, isn't it? Oh, you've not seen a REM pod, but actually they've been around to see it all.
They are not obligated to be circus animals.
Yeah.
They do not. If we say, hey, what's your name? They can go, I don't want to tell you. I'm going to go over here and talk to Anna. I haven't seen her in a minute. They don't have to. There are some that go, touch it. If you don't touch it, I don't believe you exist. And they're like, F you. I don't care. What do they care?
True.
That's so right.
Yeah, it's true. It is
That's
true.
why people sometimes, when they go back to locations over and over and they develop relationships, communicating with some similar spirits over and over again, they start to get better and better results because they're starting to put the pieces together, and they say, oh, we're gaining trust, like, they're a pet and you're trying not to get it to bite you. No, it's just like they know you're not just there for a one-off. They've met your energy before. And it's just easier then to reconnect the energy that you've already been communicating with. But a big problem there is a lot of the bigger, well-known haunted places, they give you the paper and say, oh, there's a Billy here, there's a Bobby here, there's a Rita here. And everybody's trying to talk to the same people over and over and over. Yeah. They already have the information, and they missing like all this other stuff they could be getting. Yeah, you tell me that Bobby's not tired of kicking the ball. Everybody comes there and is like, Billy, kick the ball. Billy, Tommy, can you roll the ball? He's like, no, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to do it for you. I'm not doing it. I'm tired. I'm having a night off, whatever.
I think this is why we don't like to really find out much about a location before we go.
Yeah.
We tend to look at the history more when we come back. We'll get a brief, like, when it was built and that kind of thing, but we don't look at really who was there before and what's the most classical haunting there or any of that. We just
or set expectations or anything.
Chris just said something really interesting. He just said, and it's the first one thing that I've seen. Someone asked Kristen once about why their language isn't the same, and she said they evolve too.
It's Chris, yeah.
So this goes back into what we've talked about before, like, if somebody speaks a certain language, they think they can only speak French in do a French EVP. I've read foreigners before that I don't speak their language, and I hear them in English. Now, I'll know they were French because I know French, so I'll hear French, but I'll hear it. It translates to me in what I can understand.
Yeah.
On the other side, there's no language. There's no mouth. We are communicating through energy at a higher telepathic form. We communicate telepathically when we're out of the body. We don't need this anymore.
I'm naive then, because you've just taught me something completely new, because I thought they just spoke to you. Honestly, if that's naive, that's naive, but that is honestly...
No, this is how, like, a medium, when they know they're growing, like, a lot of times people don't want to hear this, but, fuck that. Yeah. They want to hear with their ears. So initially you'll hear, hello in your ear.
Yeah.
Like for years you might hear them talking, but an ascended version of that gift is hearing them here.
Right.
Wow.
Full communication. It'll sound like it's coming through your ear into your into your frontal lobe, but it comes from here. I call that the knowing, because it's a whole conversation. And I also equate it to like Star Wars, when Darth Vader was like, being projected. It's like a projection of what's happening. So we don't need, I mean, I can communicate telepathically as well, but we don't need mouths to communicate when we're out of this body. They don't care if you're pooping and peeing. They don't care if you're having sex. They don't care about those kinds of things anymore.
You remembered your question, Emma?
No, I every time like I listen to you speak, I have like questions in my head and then they go because I'm so invested.
I know, yeah.
And I'm keeping you guys late. I'm so sorry.
No, you're
That's
not.
all right.
Mate,
It's
we're
time to
keeping.
do guess the object.
Can't wait. You're on camera, so you can do it, Joy.
I know, right?
Yeah. Have you got one?
Yeah, I could.
Oh, look at that little thing. Who
Oh,
was
thank you guys. Thank you.
No, honestly, you're not keeping us.
Thank you.
We're too intrigued in what you're telling us.
I know we're happy to ask you a
That's
couple
the
more
tip of the
questions.
iceberg.
I'm actually not watching my football team on telly because I'm that invested, Joy.
You should be honoured, Joy, honestly, if she's not watching Leeds United.
Joy, we nearly didn't get married.
I'm very honored. I mean, I don't even know if my own husband would do that.
Joy, we nearly didn't get married and had to try and change. She was on about changing the date because she thought that Leeds United were on our wedding
Yeah,
day.
well, they'd be on playoffs.
I know.
It'd have been on playoffs, that's
But
why.
I was like, well, it's tough. But she was actually serious.
Yeah, what?
Serious about possibly changing the date.
I'm too invested in listening.
Sorry, guys. I accidentally hit the wrong. What is going on with my crap?
No one gets in the way of football.
That's how we're.
Ah, yeah.
Right, go on then.
I don't know what's going on with my phone. It won't let me see the messages.
No, I don't know. Do you want me to?
See, my pin just. Did you hear my pin just jump by itself?
Is that what it did?
Yeah, literally, it hopped on my table.
Oh,
That's the kind of shit I deal with.
Well, Christopher says he always loves listening to us all. Real Ghost Hunter 1 says, hey, Brandon.
Yeah,
Paranormal...
Real Ghost Hunter 1 is Brandon.
Ah, right. Paranormal Skulk says, that's so interesting. I started to notice that with the spirit box, but I was saying and hearing before. Ah, so I think that was like hearing it in your head, I think.
It has
Trev
been
says
so
TikTok's been
glitchy.
glitchy.
Yeah, Trev says
This live has not glitched for me once. Has it glitched for you guys?
Not for me.
Really? No, not really. It might be. Have you got your Wi-Fi back, Trev? That might be what it is because they had the Wi-Fi down, didn't they? I don't know. So I think I've got one more question for you, Joy. You know, like we get it as investigators, like people come on and they say, "Oh, what a load of crap! You know, you're not communicating with anything. You just sat in a dark room." If you could say one thing to those people that don't believe in mediumship, what would you say?
Fuck off.
I knew you were going to. I absolutely knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say it.
I love it. No, that is.
You know what I would do? Because I fucking love skeptics. And there are some people in here who have heard me say this. I eat skeptics for breakfast. I love them. I really, really love a good skeptic because when I can tell them something that literally makes them run home and lock their door,
Yeah.
so good.
Do you know what, Julie? I used to be a skeptic, right? And there's only one other person that I really trust apart from you when it comes to, you know, talking to the other side. Yeah. And there's a lady over here called Kim Finney. And I went to see her and she's a lovely person, but she told me things that nobody else could ever have said. And you know, like sometimes you go to people who say they can speak to other like the energies and stuff, but they clearly can't, because they always say, "Oh, I can hear it." There's like a John or a Jim or a Johnny or a Jude or a, and they list about 20 names, hoping that you're going to connect with one. This Kim, we go in there and she goes, "Right, I've got Julie coming through now. I believe Julie was your mum." She just knows, like literally, and you're the exact same. And for me, before I met her, I was a total skeptic.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so many people that are unethical. And you have to really, most of them are charging the most. So you have to be very careful and you have to vet. Like, I work by referral only. I don't have to have a website or nothing, because if I read one person and I've got 15 or, more calling me wanting something, if I work one case, then they're calling me for another. So my whole career has been by referral pretty much only.
And so
If I know you too well, I won't read you.
Mm.
Because I know too much information about you, and I'm not going to take your money to regurgitate just because I already know it, because I have a memory like an elephant. So, there's just a lot of ethics that get crossed, and you'll know a real one, what they would call in this world a light worker. If you've never, if they're very quiet, if they stay in the background. If they stay in the background.
Unfortunately, there are so many people out there claiming that they've got gifts when they have.
It's a trend. And I know the thing is there are a lot of gifted people out there. So I need to preface this by saying there's a echelon of varying degrees and varying gifts that people can express.
Yeah.
But the claims are, I'm sorry, and this is going to come off bad. If you're 30 years old and you're claiming to be all shiznit's medium, I don't fucking believe it, because experience, and they don't like this. That when they go, oh, quit putting your years out there. Oh, I've been doing this 57 years. I'm sorry. It's like anything else, any other job. Your experience equates to your, viability.
Mm-hmm.
I could have started reading when I was 5, but I needed to do everything I did, and I'm still learning.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say I'm the when you haven't put in the time. You haven't, like you were saying though about the lady going through all the J names. Honestly, sometimes they'll give you what they want. Sometimes they may not give me the name right off the bat, but give me the initial of the name. And then I will know who they are by the things that they're doing.
Yeah.
Like it's a mother with the J name.
Yeah, but it's like I've been to people who have said, oh, you've got a pet in the afterlife. And I'll be like, yes.
Yes, Keza, you're right, Keza.
And then they'll be like, oh, it's a dog. And I'll be like, no. They're like, oh, it's a cat. And I was like, yeah.
That's called baiting. And the other thing I see on here is, can I get in the chat? You put your percentage.
Yeah.
If this resonates with you, 20%, and they're just throwing something. Oh, I got a 70. It's like an auction. I got a 70%. I got a 60%. I've got Jane in over here with 20%. Okay. This is 98. We'll pull you up in a box. Now you pay the $66.66.
Yeah. But
it's just a ripoff. And like somebody said in there, we have a universal responsibility to leave people better than we found them. When you see these mediums on here and they're being very dramatic and be like, oh, I see her. She's up there glowing with her wings. Scroll.
Yeah.
Or if they're crying or acting like they're out of control, that's all for show. It's not real.
What do you think?
They will never tell you, like, anyone that says, yes, it's your father, and he's really mad at what you did before he passed away. He is very resentful to you. They will never tell you something like that, ever. And I have seen that happen over and over and over again. And I'm like, you're destroying this human being's life. You have an ethical responsibility here to not say stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
I get really angry.
Well, it's like me and Sal went to, they called it, what was it? Something like psychic switch or something, where you sat on a table and they switched people over to come and talk to you. And I'm not joking. We were laughing because this fella was going, I see a man. I'm like, right. And he likes to tinker in a shed or a garage with wood or cars or some sort of mechanics. And I'm thinking, and people are going, oh, yeah. And it's like, how many men do you know like to tinker with either wood or mechanics in a shed or a garage? And you're like, what a load of poop.
Yeah. Well, it's like this. Back in the day when I first started training, I did similar events to that, right? Except we had our own table. And so it was like a psychic fair type of deal, just so that I could get out there and practice.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided I was going to, do it in public. And there's this one person that was sitting like 5 feet away from me on my left, and they've got a person sitting at their table, and they were charging some astronomical amount of money. Meanwhile, I'm at my table charging $20 for as long as it takes, and I have people waiting lined out the door for me. There's one person sitting at their table, and I'm talking to my people, but I can still hear him, right? And he's like, the lady just starts talking. She's like, and my mom died, and she had cancer, and all of her hair fell out, and then my dog died, brother got hit in a car. And my mom, I told her to stop smoking because she had lung cancer, but she wouldn't quit smoking. And she's telling all the things, and they're going, And then he's like, and then she's like, and I'm like, my aunt was like, Julie, like there's her mom's name, So he's like, oh, there's a Julie. Smoking. She's like, oh no. How did you know? How did you know my mom smoked that? Julie, that's my mom. And I'm like, and she's like, how did you know? And I stopped. I said, excuse me to my clients. And they said, because you fucking told him.
Yeah.
You just told him your whole life story for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And you then forgot what you said. And now he's made little mental notes over here because he's a shyster.
Yeah.
And he's just regurgitating back what you told him. Oh, that just caused a big mess there.
But you know what? The fact that you don't, have to advertise and, try and get people to come to you. It's all through word of mouth. That's shows how good you are at what you do, because Kim's the exact same, isn't she? And again, I hadn't seen her since I was 15 years old, and she didn't even remember me. So she didn't even ask my name, but told me a lot of things. And you were the exact same when we first started talking. You picked up on quite a few things. There was somebody in the chat that wanted to come in and ask you a question. Who was it?
Top one.
Who is it?
Paranormal.
Don't
know.
Somebody. Is that okay if somebody comes in and asks you a question?
Sure. I was going to say real quick though, like what you're talking about with, like on my page, like I get like messages all the time from people who see me in lives asking for readings. And I say to them, I'm not here to solicit clients. I'm sorry. I have like a 4-year wait list. Sometimes I will open up depending on how I feel, because it's unethical to read if you're not well.
Yeah.
It's not good for me, and it's not good for them. Right.
Yeah.
But I'm not here to solicit clients. I don't need to do that. What I've done here for a year and a half now is pro bono work and helping people pro bono.
Yeah.
Well,
conscious of the fact that you're too interesting, Joy, and we're 15 minutes over.
Sorry.
Don't apologise. We love it. I think what we need to do is organise another night if you can. But
I think we need to do a second one.
This person,
Paranormal Skulk, has a question,
and then we'll probably wrap up with a guess the object.
Yes.
So fire away.
Hey, so I have a question about I call them cautions, but I was curious to see what you think about it. It's kind of when you go up to somebody and you realize things, you have a read on them, but there's sort of this voice that's like, no, don't mention that or don't say that. If you know what I'm talking about, I just call them cautions. It's literally like someone being like, no. And I don't know if that's more of a me thinking thing, or if it's somebody saying, this just isn't really something they need to know. Does that make any sense to you, and how do you deal with it?
It absolutely does. And here's the situation. And anyone who knows me knows this. I have an insanely high level of ethics in what I do. Insanely high. I set my bar real high. If you weren't in here earlier, then you won't know about why. But I set my bar super high when it comes to ethics. When you are in the pizza shop and Antonio's back there flipping your pizza and you see his grandma and you go, your grandma's here. You are breaking free will.
Oh, absolutely.
You are breaking free will, and you are not supposed to interrupt anyone's day out just being a show, entertainment, whatever. And we see this all over the place. Like, that's not the time. The only time I have ever and will ever intercede like that is if someone is going to take their life. And I have done that 5 times in my career that I knew that person was going to not be here the next day.
Right.
That is the only time that I will break free will. Other than that, I do not.
What about if you're already conversating with somebody and it's just sort of an additional thing and you go to speak on it and it's that they don't need to know this
Are you
for
talking
whatever
about a
reason
stranger or someone that you know?
that you know?
Okay, if it's someone that you know, I would have a conversation with them about whether they believe in mediums. Have they ever talked to a medium? I would have a conversation with them first and get how they feel about that process and if they would even be interested.
I'm saying they're already
Not-
open to it. The conversation's already started. It's just certain pieces of things that there's this caution about. They're not meant to know this yet or to deal with this yet. Does that make sense?
If it does, but in that respect, I don't get my ego involved in my work. So
Sure.
when you are booking with me, whatever comes out of my mouth comes out of my mouth. It is in divine timing that it comes out of my mouth. So if I got something, my brain would never process a feeling of, should I say that or shouldn't I say that? I tell
Right.
everyone, if you don't want to know the truth, don't come to me. I'm not in control of what comes out of my mouth. So what you're doing is your ego is involved and you're kind of interceding and asking a question to yourself as to whether this is appropriate or not. And if it comes to you, then you should just say it.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I've always wondered about that.
Now that only is, like I said, if you have someone that you're with and something's coming through, because sometimes the hardest learned lesson is the one that is supposed to come through. We don't guide sessions. I always say I'm not in control of what comes out. It may not be what you would anticipated at first or who you anticipated at first, but it's going to come in the order that you need to receive it.
Right. Makes sense.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
You're
Right,
welcome.
so we'll wrap up.
yeah, everybody can.
So, Joy, you have a guess the object, I believe. So, would you like to? Oh,
Are you going to do?
it's already going.
Oh, is
I
it?
saw it.
Did you? Oh,
What is it?
oh, wait,
Is it a finger thingy?
a blood pressure monitor?
A pulse reader.
It
Oh, it is.
It is.
Love it.
It's only because
It's
I've
like
Bless you. Do you know what, Joy? I think we need to organise another night because it's been
we do. Yeah.
pretty hectic with.
I have about 5 other
Do you know
questions
what I
as well.
think?
Yeah.
I think we need to
people
do.
might get sick of me.
No.
I think we need to do at least a quarterly chat with Joy.
Yeah.
So,
Are you
like,
up for it?
Whenever you guys want to talk, I'm definitely down for it.
So, all right.
we will definitely get you back in.
Because
again.
I mean, this is what I do. This is what I like to talk about. I mean, yeah, I do a lot. I love horror movies. I love a lot of things about the paranormal. I mean, I love a lot of it, but this is what I do.
Well,
Very
we
good.
really appreciate it,
We do.
and honestly, I genuinely love seeing your face. I
Yeah,
think it's smashing.
We do.
I don't think you guys have seen. I think the last time I went live was December after
Yes.
Postmortem's ban, and I just have not. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
lovely to see you, and thanks
we
for
need
coming
to get
on.
you on more. We do. Yes, we are live as well on Friday. So
Yeah, we are,
if
yeah.
anyone's watching, we're going to be at the National Emergency Services Museum in Sheffield,
Love you, Trudy.
and it's meant to be good. So yeah, hop on.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody in the chat. Like, thank you so much for showing up and showing out, and for all of the little coins, and for all the taps, and for please follow True Hauntings. They are so near and dear to my heart. I really have authentic love for this team. And please support them. Please.
And
Get your
vice
notification.
versa.
Yeah, and follow Joy. She needs to hit 5K.
Yeah.
And more. 50K.
Yeah.
I know, because I need to go live more often, but like I'm so busy helping everybody else. I don't have time to do my own life. So
Well, we'll make sure that we get a regular slot with you.
Yeah. Do
this has
that.
been so fun, guys. I can't, like, it's so cool to be able to talk to you like this and like toss things back and forth and stuff. I love it.
Yeah. Well, you've answered loads
It's
of
been good.
questions like that. You opened my eyes, so perfect job. But yeah, we'll sort out another date.
Definitely.
And
Yeah, y'all starting to write your questions down now.
yeah.
I've already got 5 in my head already.
Oh, she's got 5 already.
I know.
Well, if y'all ever need anything between now and the next time, you know you can always reach out to me. You know how to get a hold of me.
And we have your lovely son next week.
Yeah.
Yes, he's going to be on next week, you guys. Be looking for that.
High flying.
My family is so cool. I have to say, my family is so cool. My kids are gifted. My glam child is gifted. Even Ian, after his emergency triple bypass, is now showing signs. So our whole family's creepy. So I never feel alone, right?
Maybe we need a whole group chat session one night with all the family.
Allie and Adam and Tay will never be on this app again, so that will never happen.
Okay.
But me and Corey could. I mean, me and Corey are always doing for it.
And Ian. We'll get Ian on as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, he needs his own because he would never shut up.
Bless him.
I love it.
Because he's northern.
I know.
I love you too, Tara. Hi, Gina. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much. All right, guys.
Okay.
You need to put me down.
Take care, Joy. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you need to put me down first before we leave, or?
No,
we'll
just
say
end
bye.
it. We'll disappear, I think. We'll all disappear.
Love you guys. Thank you.
See you later.
Bye. Peace out, y'all.
See you later.